So I've got a minute before we start, and then we'll start right at 7 o'clock, right at 6 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call our workshop. James, would you please? Please.
Present.
Present.
Jones. Mrs. J. Smallwood. Mayor, all are present.
We'll go to our first
Item is grant program up.
City Administrator. Update.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
It's my pleasure to stand today on this grant program. The program 2023 $50,000 of the American Rescue to help our business. The presentation program high level status update on to which we are in. So the application process. The application consists of approximately 10 to 12 questions. It can be found on the city's website at www.fairburn.com. Applicants are encouraged to submit the completed application via email, fax, or in person by delivering it here to City Hall with all supporting documentation. The program does consist of 5 types. The first type is facility expansion or improvement capital projects on which the applicant could be eligible of up to $25,000. Business relocation up to $25,000. Small business incubator up to $5,000. Thank you. Payroll assistance up to $10,000 and rental assistance up to $5,000. Eligibility criteria. The business must operate within the city of Fairburn city limits. If it is a home-based business, they will go off the residential address, which also must lie within the city of Fairburn jurisdiction. The business must be in operation as of the date of the application, and it cannot be a national franchise. The applicant and the business must be in good standing with city tax payments and regulations, have a business license, and evidence of financial stability to include prior 1-year tax return. If the business is less than 1 year, they must provide a profit and loss statement within the last 3 months, and capital investment. And lastly, the business must demonstrate a need or that they were impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The appeals process. So after our vendor screens the applications, they are sent to the city administrator's office. If an application is denied for any reason, days from the denial later. Denial on phase 1, some of the top reasons were for a lack of documentation, applying for the wrong program, or they did not have a business license. Based on what we saw, we had a number of businesses that said they operated without even a business license, requiring them to obtain a business license. Most applicants flex the date. Some applicants were to solicitation. We've also been working with actually for they want to put them in contact with because it does not meet the or they have patient vendor is working with the program. Evaluations are done by a third-party vendor, Booth Management Consulting. They're responsible for determining eligibility and to ensure that the information submitted actually meets the program criteria. In reference to the disbursement of funds, the total program will be fully funded up front with monthly financial accounting of payments to beneficiaries and fees until funds are depleted. In reference to the small business incubator, payroll assistance, and rent assistance, Those funds are provided to the applicant up front. With regard to the facility or capital improvements and the relocation assistance, those are considered a reimbursement. And so we want our applicants to actually show us plans, provide quotes of the receipts from the relocation. We just don't want to give them $25,000 up front. We want to actually see what they're going to do with it. So that's why that portion of it is a reimbursement. And they can provide that by submitting receipts or a bank statement, or they can get an advance on the project if they have a quote. So we have an applicant that's trying to do an in-depth capital improvement project that's approximately $20,000. If they're working with a vendor and we get the necessary documentation to a quote, as far as a quote, and to show that the work is actually being done, the funds may be front-loaded in that instance, or if they need a deposit for the capital improvement project to start. All grants must be closed out and the projects completed by September 30th, 2024. So I'll say that again. All grants must be closed out and all projects must be completed by September 30th of 2024. Once all of the programs are closed, the vendor will give us a report so that we know exactly how the funds were expended. I can tell you we are in talks with them weekly. We have a 10 a.m. weekly Thursday call with the vendor just to get update on the program and to ask questions just in case we have an anomaly when it comes to an applicant. So to the good part. This is phase one of the project, which launched November 1st. So this is when I came before council, I believe in November, and we actually put a pause on the small business grant program. The numbers before you are as of February 4th, 2024. In phase one, we received a total of 72 applications. As you see, we actually awarded 11 for a total amount of $170,764. Now, I know that's a drastic difference between 72 and 11, and I'll tell you why. What we or rental assistance has done a number of for municipalities that are common, and it's kind of COVID-19. Because we received the over 7,200,000, a little bit north of that. On our meetings, we had about 10 applicants in which they used the same agreement and would change the on their property. And so that was one on it. And also the applicants, the limit. Neighboring jurisdiction use fair, wherever we don't residents, and so qualify the grant program. Currently, out of the 11 that were awarded, the city has received 9 of the agreements in which we've executed 8. Those should be sent back to the applicant today, and then they will start the disbursement with the vendor directly. We currently do not have any projects under reimbursement, and so I do anticipate this number to change as we get the capital improvement project information as well as the relocation information. In this total of 11, 6 of them were for capital projects and 2 were for relocation. So I do anticipate there will be some type of reimbursements to come within the upcoming weeks. Phase 2 of the small business program launched on February 1st, 2024. Applications closed to February 29th, 2024 at 5 p.m., and we have approximately $160,000 left to disperse. The numbers before you are as of February 4th, but I do have totals for you as of today, February 12th. So to date, we've received a total of 18 applications, 6 to include capital improvement, 5 for payroll assistance, 4 for relocation assistance, and 3 for small business incubator. And we're happy to say that none of them appear to be fraudulent. And one of the reasons interest sessions, information that was the limit, that the information and the changes we've made beneficial the remaining funds of $160,000. With that, I will take any questions.
Does any member of council Garcia? Anybody else?
I do.
With what?
Curious to you were able to did not have a license. Okay.
Yes.
So my question is, businesses, if we don't have a program like this, and with them and make business like
First, one thing in conjunction with our code business with a when it comes to the aspect of is being used be unless someone the verb some of the other their operate basic for residential operating a business, say more to a business be a little tough.
out of the how many businesses that were applying for the license?
Exact number, I know we only awarded and probably more than half of it, but I can find out how this license and any actually operate. We did this is division of finance, and so obtaining a business.
Awarded those who received them. Okay, and will we be posting to the public, encouraging that going through this program at it and awards, it's like a reward in the community are able to get in phase and thank you for talked about the appeal. That was it. The list of the awards, and I can with Councilman with idea to look at with push our entrepreneurs forward. And
You're welcome. Now, any being awarded, I can tell you, I do know applicants that weren't able to secure a location, but they are active. And so as soon as they do, definitely be working with them because they are complete. It's just that they don't have a location in the city of Fairburn. Anyone who didn't get packets apply for phase 2 as well.
Yes, and right those that are requirements that they be in business for what location, or am I missing?
So it has to be in business with here or just give me 1 second. Or operate or in operation of the date of the application. I tell you when talking to I think she said these are going into this grant program, so we're availability. Some businesses that's been operating or actual home and then looking to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great report. Fantastic information in relations to businesses that have program. That is really. I would also, and I don't know if or not, given that we limited on what possible options, alternatives, or that we can be involved with if they are established enough, but necessarily have education in fear.
The one small business in potential, and so what that allow to kind of come in and they could use a business address, whether they want to have meetings, conference room, or they want to not every lease or a space, small business entrepreneur, a place to come that business have an address. Because I know within the metro, a lot of cities that have business.
What if that is stated by?
One of the added value Nancy does, we also connect consultant Mr. Pike is to maintain a list of available that are privately owned. Those who are looking with those with available space. Convening together, we can't act conversation in our downtown. Assured that we are saying locations that may have facilitate conversations there. Again, that depends on the private business. Maintain, be a conduit to making sure those an option is that we're aware of. Facilitate as many of those conversations.
Appreciate that. Ask if we explore so that we can, and provide participate as well. Question about the data. So you what motivators? Me what that is. Our location program.
Can you pull up the presentation for me?
A spreadsheet.
It's right here.
Yeah, small business incubator for little less than $10,000. There are 2 applicants.
I will follow up with the consultant. I do know we did have two applicants that's actually utilizing existing space to run their business, but I can get you more details on that one. And that's, I think it's based on what full that's a reimbursement.
I appreciate that. And also time for incubators.
That calendar year, I think that is one of the coming over the next 9 as part of that identifying the incubator. is a goal for us in this.
Question. You tell me for the capital improvement grants, capital improvement projects.
So there was an applicant that issues with their septic that needed upgrade, identified as one of the capital projects to improve this HVAC or lighting or any aesthetics of the place actually qualify for improvements, or if they're trying to the business that qualify.
Okay, great. Well, report the,
Yes.
that the grant, even its surface, word is, but anyway, and that's all good, really, because that says we have a lot of activity. In that we are serious about EU funds and to elevate small business. I'm glad to know them are coming into compliance relative to the business. Thank you.
To Ms. Abernathy, to establishing a better business or where I know they've held email activities going on. It's one of the hard work gets out, and it actually need in Fairburn for assistance. So for your great approval of this program to roll it out.
I want a clarity for me. I hear in your presentation, the business owner, did I?
Business located within the city of home business, it has, the residency has to be in jurisdiction.
Member Council got I wanted to also mention, and deals a lot with certified, whether it be a small business, was very ability to by fraud. That, I mean, that's a very big, and whether it be the different name on the taxes versus, I mean, I can name is that, but constitutes. As a result, I wanted to commit because have that kind of to quickly identify. I mean, that's overlooked.
Say there in how the application act, which to pause because seeing the same to the application. Contact the applicant, contact them, and so as me consultant hire a team to and just to make sure businesses, legitimate businesses within the
Okay, the report and right at 7 o'clock.